UFC 315 Belal Muhammad versus Della Maddelena goes down this weekend, and in this video, I'll be going through my picks for all of the fights on the main card. In this breakdown, I'll be using the UFC 5 Fight Week picks section to break down all of the main card picks. So, the first fight that I have to pick for is Benoit Saint-Denis versus Prepolek. I believe this is a very easy pick because Prepolek is coming on it's a short notice replacement for Joel Alvarez. And for what it's worth, I thought Joel Alvarez probably would have ran through Benoit Saint-Denis. I think that Joel Alvarez is really good, and it kind of says something that he didn't, whatever injury or anything that was preventing him from taking this fight, he took it seriously and didn't take this fight, even though it's Benoit Saint-Denis, someone he was a massive favorite over. But anyway, Benoit Saint-Denis is definitely good enough to beat Prepolek. Prepolek used to be in the UFC. He went on a 2-fight losing streak, I believe, and then he left the UFC. He was cut, and he went on the regional scene. I think he's on a 3-fight win streak on the regional scene. But I don't think this is not the time. BSD is a massive favorite, rightfully so, and I believe that he's going to win this fight by TKO, and let's say round 1 maybe. I don't know. I don't rate Prepolek very highly. I think Benoit Saint-Denis, if he's been training for Joel Alvarez, he should have the finishing capability. He should have the right training and the right camp to be able to take someone like Prepolek out. And it's just way too short notice. It's way too short notice. I think it's a week max, or even less than a week. It's less than a week of notice. But will this be the fight of the night? No, I don't believe this will be the fight of the night. The next fight we're going to be breaking down is a personal favorite of mine, Grasso versus Silva. I've been a huge fan of Natalia da Silva since the spinning back kick to the face of, I believe, what was the name? It was a forgettable name. Teresa Bleda. That was who it was. It was a beautiful spinning back kick as she shot for a level change. She got kicked in the mouth and TKO'd. And then right after that, she went into a performance where she made her opponent cry. She TKO'd her with strikes and then made her drop down to the cage and cry on the ground. And ever since then, I've been a huge fan of Natalia da Silva. There's very good two fights back to back to watch, especially as a casual fan that I was back then. And then she's gone on to win 3 fights in a row, all by decision against decent level competition. Viviane Araújo, Jessica Andrade, Andrea Lee. We're going to mix her in with Jessica Andrade and Viviane Araújo. But the fight with Andrade, I think, showed her capabilities. Super dynamic striking, good takedown defense as well, ability to take a shot. She has a chin. And luckily, she won't be needing her chin against Alexa Grasso because Grasso is not that much of a threat on the feet. She is... Alexa Grasso has been a sort of a decent fighter. I rooted for her against Valentina Shevchenko the second time. She did not win that fight. And then the third time I also rooted for her. She also did not win that fight, but luckily the judges got it right that time. The submission over Valentina Shevchenko, I think, shows what her threat is I don't know if she's capable of winning a decision against Natalia Silva. It's more, is she going to catch her with that submission if she's able to get her down? But I don't think she's going to be able to get Natalia down. Natalia's going to be piecing her up on the feet with strikes. Her dynamic striking. She's going to piece her up with kicks, leg kicks, kicks to the body, kicks to the head. She's just going to keep piecing her up, and I believe this is going to be a decision for Natalia da Silva. Imagining a 29-28. I don't believe that Grasso has the capabilities to take out someone like Natalia da Silva, especially with the momentum she has right now. She's on a very good run. I think it's Natalia da Silva for the title. This is her run. She's going to be taking on the winner of the co-main event, which we'll get to soon. But I think it's her time. I'm not going to pick against her. As much as I like both fighters are very fan-friendly. Fan-friendly in the sense that they have a lot of fans. I don't know if Grasso has a ton of fan-friendly fights, especially her last one against Shevchenko, where she just got laid on the entire time. But, Natalia da Silva by decision is the pick. Maybe a TKO, but I really doubt it. I think it's really going to come down to the viciousness and the activity of da Silva. Grasso, I don't think she's got it in her to really weather the storm and get that submission win that she needs. And I think she's going to get beat up, and she's probably going to get hurt throughout this fight. So that is the pick. Natalia da Silva, round 29-28 decision. And then it's title shot time. This is her performance right before a title shot. Oh, also, will this be fight of the night? No, I don't think so either. It's kind of rough. I mean, we're in a card with Belal headlining, so maybe this will be the fight of the night. I don't know. I'll have to come back to that. The next fight we're going to be breaking down is Amin Zahabi versus Jose Aldo. Sorry, I confused him with another guy who he looks exactly alike. But this fight this is a pick where I'm going with Jose Aldo. I'm going Jose Aldo. I'm going with the vet. I I think that Jose Aldo still has it. Although his last performance was a stinker performance, I think he won the fight, and I think the judges got the scores wrong. Because if we're in a sport where we're trying to score damage, then Mario Batista was doing nothing to try to hurt Jose Aldo, hurt his opponent, really look for any sort of finish in the fight. It was just him pressing him against the cage, neutralizing him, to be fair, but there was no damage. There was no offense. There was no attempt to hurt his opponent. So I believe Jose Aldo did win that fight. And right before that fight, a lot of people forget, he fought a dangerous up-and-comer, Jonathan Martinez, who was going on his own little run. He's coming off a loss as well against Marcus McGee, but Marcus McGee's really good. I think Jonathan Martinez is very good as well. And Jose Aldo really shut him down, and I think he could have got the finish in that fight, but he took a little bit of mercy on the younger up-and-comer Jonathan Martinez and took it to a decision. See, at the end of the third, he took him down. He could have kept beating him up on the feet like he was. But I think Jose Aldo still has enough in him to take out these contenders as long as they don't hold them against the cage, which I don't feel like Zahabi has the physical presence to be able to shut down Jose Aldo like that. I think they're going to have to exchange on the feet. Zahabi is very good. He's coming off some good decision wins. He has, I think, the only finish he has in the last 5 fights is Arichi Lang, which is an all right win, but it's all decisions. I mean, his last fight was Pedro Munoz, and that fight was okay. But it's Pedro Munoz. I don't really rate that win very highly. I think you need that next level win, and that's what he's going for here is this win against Jose Aldo. But I don't believe that he's going to get that win. I think Jose Aldo is definitely still good. And the other thing, Zahabi's 37. Jose Aldo's 38. They're about the same age. I know there's a bit more of experience or a bit more wear and tear on Jose Aldo. He's been doing this for a lot longer, but they're about the same age allegedly. I mean, there's some rumors that Jose Aldo has been fibbing about his age, but if we're going to go by what the books say, they are 1 year apart in age. I think they're very similar. The schedule or the resume of Jose Aldo is just leagues ahead of Aiemann Zahabi. Aieman's never faced somebody who's as good as Jose Aldo, and he's not gonna just shut him down like Mario Batista did. And even in that fight, I still feel like Jose Aldo won. So I'm pretty confident in picking that Jose Aldo is going to win this again by decision. Most of these picks, I'm thinking decision. I mean, it's a Belal main event. It's kind of just the theme of the night is decision wins and possible boring performances. But I don't think this fight will be boring. I think it'll actually be pretty good. I think we're going to get a lot of exchanges on the feet. I don't think Zahabi is going to try to take him down because Jose Aldo's takedown defense is too good. I don't think he may attempt to try to use the game plan that Merab and Mario Batista did by trying to hold him against the cage, but I don't think he's going to be able to execute it like they have. Those guys are... Mario Batista is very good, but he's also very physical. So he was able to hold him against the cage and shut him down because of his presence in the octagon, his size. He was able to press him against the cage and keep him shut down. But I don't think Zahabi has that. He is definitely very tall, but I don't think he's as physical as he's tall, but he's wiry. He's not very like a full build. So. I'm confident in my Jose Aldo pick. I'm thinking 30-27. I think we're going to see vintage Jose Aldo. We're going to see a shutdown. We're going to see the leg kicks. We're going to see the crisp boxing. He's going to be able to get his offense going, and he's going to be able to shut. I think towards the later rounds, we may see Zahabi trying to get these takedowns, trying to hold them against the cage, get in the clinch position, but then Aldo's going to be able to shut him down. He's going to be able to shuck him off, but I don't think he's going to get the finish. I'm not sure if there's going to be a finish. I think it'll be a decision, but I'm thinking a decision shutdown Jose Aldo, similar to the Jonathan Martinez performance. That's what we're going to go with. So let's put that here. Decision, round 3, fight of the night. No, I don't know. This is hard to pick the fight of the night on here. I think it's going to probably be maybe it is Grasso da Silva. I don't know. We'll do the fight of the night at the end. I'll come back at the end and do the fight of the night. We have now reached the co-main event of the pay-per-view, Shevchenko versus Fiorot, whatever you want to say. Man, and I like to call her Manfoot, as the cool kids say. Shevchenko versus Fiorot. I believe, coming into this video, I wanted to pick Manon Fiorot to get the decision. I was thinking her striking is just too aggressive. There's too much damage that comes off of her striking. She's able to break her opponents. Although she's not getting finishes, she's getting pretty dominant decisions where she's able to come in, implement her striking, do what she wants to do, and walk away with the win, unanimous decision. The only fighter she's finished is Tabitha Ricci, but we all know what Tabitha Ricci is these days. I was a huge fan of Tabitha Ricci, but she is not as good. She needs to implement more into her game. Anyway, Fiorot coming off some good wins, shutdowns of Erin Blanchfield, which that fight was so frustrating to watch from an Erin Blanchfield fan perspective. It just was Erin Blanchfield running into the brick wall over and over and over again, not changing up the game plan for 5 rounds. Very frustrating fight to watch. But it just shows how good Fiorot is. She's able to shut down her opponents and implement her striking and do what she wants to do. However, this was my thought process when I came into it. However, thinking of Shevchenko, their striking is comparable. Shevchenko is definitely very good on the feet, but she also has the ability to implement the grappling and completely shut down her opponent, just like the last fight against Grasso. She completely shut her down. Grasso didn't stand a chance. I mean, it really showed that first fight with Grasso, Shevchenko versus Grasso, was a fluke. As much as everyone likes to believe that Grasso is just that good, but was able to beat Shevchenko, I believe it was a fluke. They've run it 3 times now. They gave it a draw in the second, but that was, I believe, a bias towards the Mexico card. They didn't want to just give it to Shevchenko in Mexico, so they ended up, or it was in the Sphere actually. So it was Mexican themed. It was Mexican Independence Day. That was the theme of the event. So they didn't want to give that to Shevchenko, even though I believe she won. It was pretty clear. There was some funny business. There was a long period of time on the broadcast in between the end of the fight and the announcement of the scorecards. But I believe she won both those fights. They ran it back 2 out of 3 times. I believe Shevchenko took it, and I believe that first fight was a fluke. So, and Shevchenko's just able to implement that. She's shown that now. She wasn't scared to go back on the ground with Grasso. It wasn't like there was this big fear of the submission threat of Grasso. But she's able to mix it up, too. She's no slouch on the striking. She's able to mix it up. Manon Fiorot showed really good takedown defense in the Erin Blanchfield fight. But I don't know. In a 5-round fight, and most likely a decision, I'm starting to lean Shevchenko. I'm really starting to lean Valentina Shevchenko just because she's a more well-rounded fighter. She's able to mix it up, and their striking is comparable. I don't believe that Manon Fiorot is going to be leagues ahead of her on the feet, and even if she is, Shevchenko has the ability to mix it up and get her on the ground. And it might be one of those performances where we finally see her off on her back, and then will she know what to do? Will she know to pop back up? Will she know to get her guard? I think there's too many questions. It would be easy to pick Fiorot. She is a massive favorite. I was leaning towards that, but just as watching the press conference and just letting it marinate in my head a little bit, I'm gonna lean Shevchenko. I'm gonna believe it's a Shevchenko decision. I don't think it's gonna be a finish. Either way, if there is a finish, I'm leaning on the side of Fiorot, even though she's mostly a decisionator, but they both are at this point. At this point in their careers. Yeah, I'm going to go with Shevchenko with maybe a close decision. I believe Fiorot's going to be able to take the early rounds, maybe rounds 1, 2, 1 and 3, something like that. But I believe Shevchenko is going to, towards the end, the championship rounds, I believe she's really going to pick it up, and her well-roundedness is definitely going to come into play. So I believe this is going to be a Shevchenko decision. She's a huge underdog also. I was looking at that. They don't show the odds on here, but she's a huge underdog. And will this be fight of the night? This one, I'm for sure it won't be, because with the way I predict this going, it's gonna be one of those fights where the crowd is cheering as soon as they're on their feet, as soon as Fiorot lands anything. Fiorot is gonna be the hometown favorite because of the French demographic in Canada. So yeah, I'm believing we're gonna looking at a Shevchenko decision, maybe a 49-48, something like that. Pretty close. 3 to 2, 3 rounds to 2. That's my guess. Maybe 4-1. But it's good. Shevchenko's still good enough to reign at the top of the division, and it's going to be Shevchenko De Silva. And I'm super excited for that fight. If things go the way I think they will, we're going to be looking at Shevchenko versus Natalia De Silva. But either way, if Manon Fiorot wins, I'm going to be picking Natalia De Silva against her. I think Silva will be the champion. I think this performance is going to show a lot. We're going to learn a lot about her. But yeah, I'm going Shevchenko by decision, and I'm actually excited for the future of this division right now. I'm actually pretty excited for the next fight, which is rare these days. So I'm actually excited for the future of women's flyweight. It's time. The main event: Belal Muhammad versus Della Maddelena. Who am I picking? Who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be Jack? Is it gonna be Belal? Is it gonna be Jack Belal? KO, boring decision. So much to think about. It's Belal. We're picking Belal. Yeah. I didn't even have to think too hard about this. It's Belal Muhammad by decision. I mean, Jack's just unproven. He should have fought Leon Edwards before getting this opportunity. I know this event needed an opponent. Shavkat was injured. He couldn't come up to do the fight that was supposed to happen, so it ends up being Maddelena versus Belal. I think it's just too soon for Jack Della Maddelena. Although he has the crisp boxing and the knockout ability, I just look back on the Gilbert Burns fight. He was able to be controlled for a big majority of it. Although, to be fair, he did come back and knock out Gilbert Burns, so I mean, maybe he's able to do the same thing Belal. Belal did fade in the later rounds against Leon. So there's definitely a possibility, but it feels like you're betting on the KO and you're betting on him to Jack to be losing by decision and then get the KO or get the KO early. And I'm not sure I'm comfortable doing that against Canelo hands Belal Muhammad. Although I don't believe he's got hands like Canelo, it's just there's a certain confidence he's carrying into this fight, but he does that with all the fights. He's just trying to promote it. He's going to be shooting for legs pretty early, and I hope he does, to lock in my pick. And also, at the pay-per-view, oh shoot, let me go back to this. At the press conference, it was announced the winner of this fight determines who Ilia Toporia's next opponent is. And if Jack Della Maddelena wins, we're going to be seeing Islam versus Jack Della Maddelena. And yay, Islam for 2 belts and all that. But if we see Belal win, we will be getting the fight everyone's been begging for, the fight everybody wants. Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title. I want to see that fight, and I think it's very likely. I think it's very likely that Belal is going to decision Jack Della, and we're going to be seeing Ilia versus Makhachev, which is the fight everyone wants to see. It's the fight I want to see for sure. I'd be picking Islam in that fight, but it's just Islam will not fight Belal. He wants to go up. He'll only fight if it isn't Belal, and it's gonna be Belal. It's gonna be a domination, and a domination is what I'll say, because it's gonna be a decision. It might even be close, but it will be a decision. But Belal's gonna be able to shut him down. I don't think that Maddelena is ready for a 5-round title shot against Belal Muhammad. Belal's been shown to be a very, very, very good fighter. As much as people don't like him, a bunch of people forget to remember his name. It's really ironic. His nickname is Remember the Name. A lot of people forget it. Even Joe Rogan. Security, they don't know he's the champ. Yeah, everyone forgets. Gets Belal. It's forgettable. But I'm not going to be one of these guys that just counts him out just because I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't want him as champ. But I'd rather he wins. I'd rather be right in him winning the decision and then get to see Ilia versus Makhachev. Ilia versus Islam. Topuria versus Makhachev. That's the fight. And also, there's another little side thing. I'd love for my boy Charles Oliveira. If Jack Della wins, Islam will face Jack Della. He'll vacate his lightweight belt, and then Topuria will be fighting Oliveira for the undisputed. I believe if the rumors are true, then it's going to be Islam vacating his title. It'll be Ilia versus Oliveira for the undisputed, which I also like that fight. But I don't at the same time, because I really would like Oliveira to win. I really would, but I think that Topuria beats him, and I don't want to see that. So that's another motivator in me picking Belal and hoping that he wins. So I'm going to be actively rooting against Jack Della Maddelena, but I won't. I will say I won't be not happy if Jack leaves Belal face down on the canvas in a pool of his own blood. I would not be unhappy with that outcome at all. But realistically, we're going to be looking at a very close Belal Muhammad decision, fight of the night. Hell no. Maybe. If Jack Della wins in the late rounds, if he does the same thing he did to Gilbert Burns to Belal Muhammad, they'll give it fight of the night. But we're going to go with the sneaky Grasso versus Silva fight of the night. If I'm wrong, it is what it is. I don't care. It should be fun. I think that fight's going to be fun. I think Grasso's tough enough where she will be able to survive it. But yeah, those are the picks. Belal Muhammad by decision, Shevchenko by decision, Aldo by decision. Oh God, I picked a lot of decisions. Silva by decision. Yeah, I don't see finishes in any of these fights, to be honest. I think the highest likelihood of a finish would be Maddelena finishing Belal Muhammad. But I don't see that happening, and I don't see Belal Muhammad finishing Maddelena. It's not happening either. He's not a submission guy. He's a decisionator. He decisions. He got his one decision in the or one submission in the UFC and one TKO KO against Sean Brady, which is a very well aged win. People forget about that fight. People forget that Sean Brady, who just went and finished Leon Edwards, dominated Leon Edwards. Belal Muhammad finished him on the feet, TKO'd on the feet. Belal has a very, very underrated resume, and Jack Della has nothing comparable. He has split decisions against Kevin Holland and I think Basil Hafez. I think that maybe that was a UD. He has 2 split decisions which are just questionable. Although he did pretty clearly win those fights, it's still the judges. One of the judges was able to look at it and score the fight against him. So I just when Belal gets decisions, they're UDs, they're dominant decisions. He's the king of decisions, and when we get to the main event, that's what we see him. All right, this has been the 315 Belal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddelena picks for the main card. I will be streaming the watch along on Saturday on Twitch. I'll link that in the description. And I'll be doing picks for main card picks for all of the pay-per-views coming up, and I may start doing the picks for the fight nights. I will be doing picks for fight nights. I'll be doing picks for at least the main card of every event in the near coming future. I'll probably be posting them on Thursday or Friday. If I get them done sooner, I'll friggin' post them sooner. But yeah, that's been the picks. Like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one.